Abandoned in the ICU, my parents chose pain over my life. When their petty drama ended, my lawyer was waiting to show them the devastating price of their indifference. The fluorescent lights above Sophia flickered, her vision blurring at the edges. She tightened her grip on the podium, struggling to maintain composure as 40 pairs of expectant eyes watched her from the conference room. A chilling certainty settled over her. Something was profoundly amiss. And as you can see from the Q3 projections, her voice trembled, barely audible. The vibrant PowerPoint slides dissolved into an indistinguishable swirl of colors, a meaningless kaleidoscope. Her heart hammered, not merely racing, but attempting to burst free from her ribcage. Sophia, she realized with a jolt, was collapsing in the midst of the most pivotal presentation of her career. "Miss Wells, are you all right?" a voice called from the rear. She parted her lips, but no sound emerged. The room spun, then lurched sideways, and suddenly, the ceiling panels were twirling above her as her body gave way, sinking to the floor. A cacophony of voices erupted. "Call 911! Is she breathing? Clear the room!" Her assistant, Sarah, her face streaked with mascara, appeared above her. "Sophia, stay with us! The ambulance is coming!" Sophia tried to reach for her phone, but her limbs felt impossibly heavy. Call my parents!" She managed to gasp before darkness consumed her. The next sensation was an overwhelming cold. Doctors' urgent voices, words like cardiac arrhythmia and immediate surgery, pierced through the fog of her consciousness. "Please," Sophia pleaded with the nurse preparing her arm for N4. "My phone. I need to call my family." The nurse hesitated, then offered Sophia her iPhone. With trembling fingers, she dialed her mother's number, straight to voicemail. Her father's line yielded the same result. Her text grew increasingly desperate. "Mom, I'm in the hospital. Dad, please answer. They're taking me to surgery. I'm scared." The nurse gave her a sympathetic glance as she gently retrieved the phone. "We need to go now, honey. I'm sure they'll be here when you wake up." They weren't. Sophia regained awareness in the ICU hours later, groggy and utterly alone. The rhythmic beeping of monitors underscored her isolation. Sarah had left a note promising to return in the morning, but hospital policy restricted visitors to immediate family after hours. Immediate family, Sophia thought, a bitter laugh catching in her throat. Around 3 a.m., a night nurse, with kind eyes and a gentle touch, checked her vitals and adjusted her for. "Your mother left a voicemail earlier," she offered, reaching for Sophia's phone. "Would you like to hear it?" Sophia nodded, a fleeting spark of hope igniting within her. The recording played. "Hi, sweetie. We got your messages, but we can't come right now. Hazel is having an absolute meltdown over the paint color for her new apartment. She's inconsolable. You know how she gets. We'll try to stop by tomorrow if she's feeling better. Love you." The nurse's expression mirrored Sophia's own crushing disappointment. Sophia turned away, hot tears tracing paths down her cheeks. "Would you like me to call someone else for you?" the nurse asked softly. A vivid memory surfaced. Last Christmas, Sophia had written a check for $50,000 to settle Hazel's credit card debt. Her mother had barely glanced up from helping Hazel arrange her new designer handbag collection, murmuring, "Thanks, Sophie. You're such a good sister." Good sister, good daughter, good ATM, Sophia thought, wiping her eyes. She looked at the nurse. "Actually, yes. Could you hand me my phone? I need to call my lawyer." The nurse passed the phone, concern etched on her face. Sophia's hands were steady now as she scrolled through her contacts and pressed call. "Derek, it's Sophia. I know it's late, but I need you. Bring the papers, all of them." "Yes, I'm sure. I'm in the ICU at Mount Sinai." She paused, listening to his response. "No, my family isn't here. That's exactly why I'm calling." After hanging up, Sophia stared at the ceiling, her heart monitor beeping in sync with a newfound resolve. She had nearly died today, and her sister's interior decorating dilemma had taken precedence. 20 years of similar slights cascaded over her, Hazel's dramatic outbursts at Sophia's college graduation, her parents missing Sophia's company launch party because Hazel had a bad date, the countless times Sophia had cleaned up Hazel's messes while her own accomplishments went unnoticed. Her phone buzzed. An Instagram notification. Hazel had just posted a selfie with their parents, all three huddled around paint swatches. The caption read, "Worst day ever. Thank God for family support. #blessed, #family, #crisis." Sophia clicked off her phone and closed her eyes, feeling something hard and cold solidify in her chest. It wasn't her heart this time. It was determination. The next day, Derek would help Sophia dismantle the financial structures she had meticulously built for her family. For the first time in her life, she felt no guilt about it. Derek arrived promptly at 9, his leather briefcase bulging with documents. He took one look at Sophia, still pale and connected to monitors, and his professional composure faltered. "Jesus, Sophia, you look like hell." "Thanks." She managed a weak smile. "Always knew I could count on you for honesty. Did you bring everything?" He pulled up a chair and began spreading papers across her bedside table. "Everything you asked for. But are you sure about this? It's aggressive. My heart literally stopped yesterday," Sophia stated, her voice firm. "And my family was too busy picking paint swatches to care. I'd say aggressive is exactly what this situation calls for." Derek nodded, his jaw tightening. They had been friends since college, and he had witnessed countless instances of her family's behavior over the years. "All right, let's start with the will changes." For the next hour, they worked methodically through the documents. Sophia's signature grew steadier with each page, as if her hand instinctively knew this was right, even if her heart still ached. "So, that's your parents removed as beneficiaries," Derek confirmed, shuffling papers. "Next is revoking their access to your accounts, the ones you've been using to subsidize Hazel's lifestyle." A memory surfaced, last summer, standing in her parents' kitchen, holding Hazel's latest credit card statement. "It's only $70,000 this time," her mother had said, not looking up from her magazine. "You know how hard things have been for her since that breakup." "Do it," Sophia told Derek. "All of it." He pulled out another stack of papers. "And the vacation house. Listed today, if possible. Your parents spend every summer there." "Not anymore." Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. "Hazel picked the perfect shade of sage. Crisis averted. How are you feeling, sweetie?" Sophia showed it to Derek, who let out a low whistle. "That's something else. Watch this," Sophia said, opening the family group chat. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. "Still in ICU after emergency heart surgery, thanks for asking. Glad Hazel's walls are sage instead of seafoam. Definitely worth missing your daughter's near-death experience for." Derek raised an eyebrow. "Poking the bear? More like waking it up," Sophia retorted. "They've been hibernating in their bubble of denial for too long." Her phone immediately erupted with notifications. "Mom, don't be dramatic, Sophie. The doctor said you're stable." "Dad, we'll visit soon, princess." "Hazel, OMG, why are you trying to make my apartment crisis about you?" Sophia turned her phone face down. "Keep going with the papers, Derek." By noon, they had drafted everything necessary to legally sever Sophia's finances from her family's parasitic demands. Derek was packing up when her friend Camila burst in, carrying real coffee and looking furious. "I just saw Hazel's Instagram story," she announced, handing Sophia the coffee. "She's doing a full home renovation reveal, tagged #blessed, #new beginnings, #family support. Not a single mention that her sister almost died yesterday." "Of course not," Sophia said, taking a sip. "That would require acknowledging someone else's existence." "I've got the papers ready to file," Derek said, standing. "But I'll hold them until tomorrow. Give you time to think it through." Sophia shook her head. "File them now. I've had 38 years to think it through." After they left, Sophia scrolled through her phone. Hazel had posted again, A boomerang of her twirling in her newly painted living room, her parents applauding in the background. The caption read, "Sometimes it takes a village." So grateful for parents who drop everything to help in a crisis. #blessed, #pain day, #family first. Sophia's fingers hovered over the comment button. Instead, she opened her email and composed a message to her entire contact list. Dear friends and colleagues, I'm currently in the ICU at Mount Sinai following emergency heart surgery. While I'm stable now, it was a close call. I'm sharing this not for sympathy, but for transparency about why I'll be out of office for a while. I'm also sharing because yesterday I learned something valuable about family. Sometimes the ones who should be there aren't, and sometimes that's the wake-up call you need. Best, Sophia. She hit send, then turned off her phone. Let them deal with the fallout of their choices being made public. She was done covering for them. A nurse came in to check her vitals, glancing at the papers Derek had left behind. Big decisions today, life-changing ones? Sophia didn't reply directly. Your heart rate's much stronger, the nurse noted, checking the monitor. Sophia looked out the window at the Manhattan skyline, feeling lighter than she had in years. Yeah, she said. I think it finally remembered how to beat for itself instead of everyone else. The nurse patted her hand and left. In the quiet of her hospital room, Sophia could have sworn she heard the sound of bridges burning, and it sounded like freedom. 3 days after her surgery, Sophia's parents finally graced her with their presence. Her mother swept in, adorned in her signature Hermes scarf, clutching a bouquet that likely cost more than Sophia's hospital bill. Her father trailed behind, looking distinctly uncomfortable in the sterile environment. Oh, darling! Her mother exclaimed, as if they were meeting for a casual lunch rather than visiting their daughter post-cardiac event. These fluorescent lights are absolutely brutal on your complexion. Nearly dying tends to do that. Sophia replied flatly. Her father cleared his throat. Now, princess, no need for that tone. We're here now. 3 days later, Sophia thought. Her mother began arranging the flowers, filling the silence with trivial chatter. Hazel wanted to come, but she's still dealing with the contractor. Such a nightmare. They completely botched the crown molding. She's been crying all morning. Sophia pressed the morphine button on her not for pain, but for patience. Where is Hazel anyway? Her father asked, looking around as if his other daughter might materialize from behind the curtain. Probably posting about her crown molding debacle on Instagram. Sophia said. Did you know her story about paint swatches got more attention than my emergency surgery announcement? Her mother's hand stilled on the flowers. Sophia, please. You know how sensitive she is. She's been absolutely beside herself about your situation. My situation? Sophia repeated. You mean my heart stopping? A knock at the door spared them from responding. Derek entered, impeccable in his suit, carrying a leather portfolio. Sophia's mother's face lit up. She had always hoped Sophia and Derek would date. Derek, how lovely to see you. Are you here to check on our girl? Actually, he said, walking to Sophia's bedside, I'm here in my professional capacity. He handed Sophia a folder. She opened it slowly, savoring the moment. Mom, Dad, you remember Derek's my lawyer, right? The color drained from her mother's face. Her father's forced smile flickered. These are copies of documents I filed yesterday. Sophia continued, her voice steady. I've removed you both from my will, revoked your access to all my accounts, and listed the vacation house in Florida for sale. The house? Her father stammered. But where will we go in the summer? Not my concern. Her mother's perfectly manicured hand flew to her throat. Sophia, you can't be serious. We're family. Family? Sophia laughed, and the heart monitor betrayed a spike in her anger. Let me tell you about family. Last month, I paid off Hazel's $70,000 credit card debt. The month before that, I covered her rent when she forgot to pay it for 3 months. Last year, I funded her failed jewelry business. Want to know what I got in return? When my heart stopped and I needed you most, you chose paint swatches over your dying daughter. That's not fair, her father protested weakly. No, what's not fair? Sophia countered. Is that I've spent my entire adult life being your backup plan, your safety net, your human ATM. Well, guess what? The Bank of Sophia is officially closed. Derek handed them each a stack of papers. These detail the changes. I'd suggest reading them carefully. Her mother's hands shook as she flipped through the documents. This is ridiculous. You won't go through with this. Family sticks together, Sophia. You know that. Sophia looked her directly in the eyes. If that's true, how come I almost died alone? The silence that followed was deafening. The house is already listed, Derek added quietly. We expected to sell quickly in this market. Her father sank into a chair, papers crumpling in his grip. Princess, please, let's talk about this rationally. I had plenty of time to think rationally while lying here alone for 3 days, Sophia said. Did you know the nurses took turns sitting with me after surgery because they felt bad that I had no family here? Strangers showed more concern than my own parents. Her mother's mascara was starting to run. You're being dramatic. We came as soon as we could. After Hazel's pain crisis was resolved. Sophia corrected. Check your priorities, Mom. Better yet, check your phone. I'm sure Hazel's having another meltdown about crown molding right now. As if on cue, her mother's phone buzzed. She glanced at it instinctively. Go ahead, Sophia said. Answer it. We both know you will. Her mother stood, smoothing her skirt with trembling hands. This isn't over, Sophia. You're upset. You're not thinking clearly. We'll discuss this when you're feeling better. Actually, we won't. Sophia pressed the call button. Nurse, I'm ready for my rest now. As security escorted them out, a precaution Derek had arranged, Sophia heard her mother's voice crack. She can't do this. She's our daughter. No, Sophia whispered to the empty room. I'm just the backup daughter you never wanted but always needed. And I quit. The monitor showed her heart rate returning to normal, steady and strong, as if it knew this was just the beginning. At 3 a.m., Sophia's phone rang. Hazel's name flashed on the screen, and Sophia answered, driven by morbid curiosity. How dare you? Hazel's voice crackled with fury. How dare you do this to Mom and Dad? Good morning to you too, Hazel. How's the crown molding situation? Sophia retorted. Don't you dare be sarcastic with me. They're devastated. Mom hasn't stopped crying, and Dad had to take a Xanax. Sophia adjusted her hospital bed, sitting straighter. Interesting how they can have such strong reactions to consequences, but couldn't muster any concern when I was literally dying. Oh my God, you're not dying! Stop being so dramatic. My heart stopped, Hazel. Actually stopped. But please, tell me more about your pain emergency. Hazel let out a sound somewhere between a scream and a sob. You need to fix this. Call Derek right now and undo everything. Or what? Or, she sputtered, or I'll never speak to you again. Sophia laughed, a genuine, unburdened laugh for the first time in days. Is that supposed to be a threat? The line went quiet for a moment. When Hazel spoke again, her voice held that familiar, manipulative tremor, the one that usually preceded her getting her way. Remember when we were kids and you promised to always take care of me? A memory flashed, Sophia at 12, Hazel at 6. Hazel had destroyed Sophia's science fair project the night before the presentation, dumping glue all over weeks of work. Her mother had blamed Sophia for not sharing her supplies. Actually, I do remember, Sophia said. I remember a lot of things, Hazel. Like how I sold Grandma's ring, my only inheritance, to bail you out of debt 3 years ago. Remember what you said then? Thanks, sis. You're the best. Right before you went on a shopping spree with Mom. That's different. I needed you. I always need you. And I'm always expected to provide. Well, guess what? I'm done. Mom wants to meet, Hazel said, changing tactics. One last family meeting to talk things through. Sophia considered this. Fine. Tomorrow at noon, the hospital cafeteria. But my conditions, noon, take it or leave it. Hazel agreed, but Sophia wasn't finished. And Hazel, I'm bringing Camila. Your annoying friend. Why? Because I'm done being outnumbered. The next day, her mother and father arrived first, looking as if they hadn't slept. Hazel swept in 10 minutes late, wearing oversized sunglasses and clutching an iced latte like it was life support. Camila sat beside Sophia, radiating protective energy. She had known Sophia's family dynamics for years and had always been her voice of reason. Sophia, her mother began, reaching across the table. Let's talk about this rationally. Rational? Camila interjected. Like ignoring your daughter's emergency surgery? This is a family matter. Hazel snapped. Funny, Sophia said. I was family when you needed your credit cards paid off. Her father raised his hands placatingly. Princess, we understand you're hurt, but this revenge, it's beneath you. Revenge? Sophia leaned forward. This isn't revenge, Dad. This is boundaries. This is me finally saying no. You're being selfish. Hazel slammed her latte down. Do you know what this is doing to me? My anxiety is through the roof. My followers can tell something's wrong. Camila snorted. Your sister almost died, and you're worried about your Instagram aesthetic? Stay out of this. Hazel whirled on Camila. This is your fault. You've always tried to turn her against us. No. Sophia cut in. You did that all by yourselves. Her mother started crying, her practiced tears right on schedule. We can fix this, sweetie. Just call Derek. Stop. Sophia's voice was steel. The house is already in escrow. The accounts are closed. It's done. Hazel stood up so fast her chair toppled backward. You ungrateful. She grabbed her latte and threw it at Camila, who barely dodged the cup. The cafeteria went silent. Security approached quickly. And that, Sophia said quietly, is exactly why this is happening. As security escorted Hazel out, her screams echoing down the hallway, Sophia turned to her parents. We're done here. Sophia, please. Her mother tried one last time. No. I'm going to be discharged tomorrow. When I leave this hospital, I'm leaving this dysfunction behind too. Sophia stood up, Camila steady beside her. You okay? Camila asked. Sophia nodded, feeling lighter than she had in years. You know what's funny? My heart's actually beating better now that I've stopped letting them break it. Behind them, she could hear Hazel's distant screams mixing with her mother's sobs, the sound of consequences finally catching up to them all. The Florida house sold in 3 days, well above the asking price. Sophia signed the final papers from her new apartment, where she had been recovering for the past week. Derek sat across from her, sliding over a cashier's check. $4,200,000, he stated. What are you going to do with it first? I'm hiring an estate sale company to clear it out. Everything goes. Including the piano. Sophia's hands stilled over the check. The baby grand piano, her childhood sanctuary. Her mother had given it to Hazel on her 16th birthday, despite knowing Sophia was the only one who played. Her phone buzzed. A news alert. Local woman removed from luxury boutique after altercation with staff. The thumbnail showed Hazel being escorted out by security, mascara streaking her face. Your sister's making headlines, Derek observed, peering at her screen. She always wanted to be famous. Sophia forwarded the article to Camila, who replied instantly. Karma's working overtime. The estate sale company arrived the next day. Sophia watched via FaceTime as they cataloged everything, marking prices on pieces of her past. The woman in charge, Marie, held up a familiar jewelry box. What about this? Inside was the empty space where her grandmother's ring had once rested, before Sophia sold it to cover Hazel's gambling debts. Sell it, Sophia said. Everything goes. Sophia! A voice shrieked from off camera. Hazel had somehow gotten past security. You can't sell Mom's anniversary china. Marie turned the camera, showing Hazel attempting to grab items off a table. Should I call the police immediately? Sophia watched as Hazel was removed again, this time screaming about family heirlooms and betrayal. Her phone lit up with texts from her mother. How could you sell our memories? Your father is heartbroken. That piano was for Hazel. We're still your family. Sophia blocked their numbers. Later that afternoon, Derek called, his voice tense. We have a situation. Hazel tried to file for temporary conservatorship over you. She what? She's claiming your cardiac event affected your mental capacity. Says your erratic behavior proves you're unfit to manage your affairs. Sophia laughed, but there was no humor in it. Let me guess. She's volunteering to manage my money for me? Got it in one. Don't worry, it's ridiculous. No. Judge would uphold it. Make it expensive. Sophia interrupted, her voice hard. And Derek countersued for harassment. The estate sale began on Saturday. Sophia watched the security cameras from her phone as strangers picked through her family's carefully curated image. The piano went first, to a music school. Perfect. Her phone pinged with an email from an unfamiliar address. The subject line made her blood run cold. Your father's medical records. What is this? She asked Derek over speakerphone. Open it. Inside was a single line. Dad had a heart condition too. Mom never told you. Guess she loved one daughter enough to warn her. H. Sophia felt her new, stronger heart skip a beat. Is this true? I had it verified. Derek said quietly. Your father has the same condition. Genetic. Hazel's been monitored for it since childhood. The room spun. They'd known. They'd known Sophia could have inherited this. And they never told her. They protected Hazel, but not her. Never her. Derek. Sophia's voice was steady despite the trembling in her hands. Remember when you said the conservatorship claim was ridiculous? Yes. Prove it. Release my medical records to the court. Show them I'm not only competent, I'm thriving post-surgery. Then leak the fact that they knew about this genetic condition and deliberately withheld the information. That's nuclear, Sophia. They nearly let you die. Nuclear feels appropriate. As they hung up, another notification popped up, a certified letter from Hazel's lawyer. Sophia opened the attachment, expecting more threats. Instead, she found herself staring at a photo, her at 12, standing protectively beside 6-year-old Hazel. On the back, in her mother's handwriting, My girls, forever inseparable. Below it, Hazel had scrawled, Remember who you're supposed to be. My protector. My sister. Don't make me destroy you. Sophia forwarded the threat to Derek, then opened her laptop. It was time to tell her story. All of it. The decades of manipulation, the financial neglect. No names, just truth. As she typed, she remembered something her grandmother had told her before she died. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop protecting people from the consequences of their own actions. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, each word a brick in the wall she was building between her past and her future. Let them come. Let them threaten. She wasn't their protector anymore. She was finally her own. Sophia's blog post went live at midnight. By 6 a.m., it had garnered over 100,000 shares. A story of family toxicity and survival. Read the headline. She hadn't named names, but anyone who knew them would recognize the truth. Camila called first. Have you seen Twitter? You're trending. Sophia refreshed her feed. Thousands of comments, most from people sharing similar stories of family dysfunction. The phrase, golden child syndrome, was everywhere. Your mother's country club friends are having a field day. Camila continued. Apparently, she had to leave her tennis match early because everyone was whispering. Her phone buzzed. Nicholas, Hazel's on again, off again boyfriend. Your sister's losing it, he said without preamble. She's been screaming for hours, throwing things. I can't handle this anymore. Not my problem. She says you're lying about everything, that you're just jealous of her. Sophia laughed. Ask her about Dad's heart condition. Ask her why they never told me I could die from the same thing that almost killed me last month. Silence. They knew? Since we were kids? Hazel got tested? I didn't even know it ran in the family. Jesus Christ. He exhaled heavily. I'm done. Tell Derek I'll testify about her behavior if he needs me to. By noon, the story had made local news. Prominent families' dirty laundry aired, a tale of medical neglect and financial exploitation. They didn't use names, but they didn't need to. Her father's phone call came next. Princess, please. They're asking me to step down from the country club board. Tragic, Sophia said. Almost as tragic as not telling your daughter she had a potentially fatal heart condition. We were trying to protect you from worry. No, you were trying to protect Hazel from responsibility, as usual. Your mother's devastated. Our friends are finally seeing who you really are. Derek called with updates. Hazel's conservatorship attempt was thrown out. The judge actually laughed. But there was more. She sent a cease and desist letter claiming your blog post caused her irreparable trauma. Perfect. Counter with the medical records. Already did. Her lawyer withdrew the letter in under an hour. Sophia was reviewing transfer paperwork for her assets when her email pinged. A message from Nicholas. Thought you should see this. She doesn't know I recorded it. The attached video showed Hazel in her apartment, raging at their parents. Fix this. Make her stop. I can't take people looking at me like this. Do something. Her mother's voice. Darling, we're trying. But try harder. I'm the one who matters. I'm your real daughter. The video cut off. Sophia forwarded it to Derek with one word, leverage. Her phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. A photo of her grandmother's ring, the one she'd sold to help Hazel. Missing something? The text read. Who is this? Sophia typed back. Someone who bought it from the pawn shop. Want it back? Meet me. She blocked the number and called Derek. They're getting desperate. Good, he said. Because I just filed the harassment suit. And Sophia, the ring thing? That was amateur hour. I bought your grandmother's ring back months ago. It's in my safe. Tears pricked her eyes. You did? Of course. I knew you'd want it back someday. That evening, Sophia's blog post hit national news. Her inbox flooded with interview requests. Dr. Phil's producers called twice. Then came her mother's voicemail. She was crying, screaming, apologizing, all in the same breath. Please, sweetie, we can fix this. Tell everyone you were confused. Say you made it up. We're your family. Sophia played it for Camila over wine. Wow, Camila said. She actually sounds sincere. She's not. Listen carefully. She's not saying she's sorry for what they did. She's sorry they got caught. Her phone buzzed again. A news alert. Local socialite has public meltdown at charity gala. The photo showed Hazel being escorted out again. Your sister's really committing to this spiral, Camila observed. She's never faced consequences before. She doesn't know how. Sophia opened her laptop and began typing again. Not another blog post. This time, it was an email to her realtor. Subject line. Looking for properties in California. Running away? Camila asked, reading over her shoulder. No, Sophia replied, thinking of the grandmother's ring waiting in Derek's safe. Running towards something better. As if on cue, her mother's number flashed on her phone. For the first time in her life, Sophia didn't feel the urge to answer. Some bridges weren't meant to be repaired. Some fires needed to burn until there was nothing left but truth in the ashes. The family home looked smaller than Sophia remembered. She stood in the driveway, keys in hand, staring at the colonial facade that had housed so many carefully curated lies. Want me to go in first? Camila asked from beside her. No. I need to do this. Sophia had come to collect the last of her belongings before the move to California. Derek had arranged for a police presence, just in case, but the cruiser parked discreetly down the street still felt surreal. The front door opened before Sophia could use her key. Her mother stood there, looking oddly diminished without her usual perfect makeup. "You brought security?" Her voice cracked. "I brought witnesses," Sophia corrected, nodding toward Camila and the police officer now walking up the drive. Her father appeared behind her. "Princess, this is unnecessary. After Hazel's latest stunt, I'd say it's very necessary." They stepped aside, letting Sophia and Camila enter. The house smelled of desperation and Chanel No. 5, her mother's stress-cleaning signature. "I'm here for my things," Sophia said, heading toward the stairs. "Just my childhood photos and some documents." "Wait," her mother called out. "There's something you need to know first." Sophia turned, watching her mother twist her wedding ring, her tell for incoming manipulation. "You should sit down for this." "I'll stand." Her mother exchanged looks with her father, who nodded slightly. "It's about your adoption." The word hung in the air like smoke. Camila grabbed Sophia's arm, steadying her. "My what?" "You're not." Her mother's voice wavered. "You're technically your Aunt Sarah's daughter. When she died, we took you in. You were only 2. We never told you because we wanted you to feel like real family." The room tilted. Aunt Sarah. Her mother's sister, who died in a car accident. My mother. My actual mother. Her father stepped forward. "We loved you like our own." "Stop!" Sophia's voice was ice. "You loved me like your own? You let me believe I was your biological child while withholding life-saving medical information because it wasn't actually genetic for me? You prioritized your biological daughter while I paid her bills, cleaned her messes, and nearly died alone? We didn't want you to feel different," her mother protested. "Different?" Sophia laughed, the sound harsh even to her own ears. "You mean like how you treated me differently my entire life?" Heavy footsteps on the stairs announced Hazel's arrival. "Oh, good. She finally knows she's not really my sister." "I'm not." Sophia turned to her. "Then I guess I'm not really responsible for you anymore. All those years of guilt, of obligation? They never belonged to me, did they?" "You ungrateful." Hazel started, but her mother cut her off. "We gave you everything," her mother cried. "A home, an education, opportunities." "No," Sophia interrupted. "I earned those things. Every single one of them. While you were busy coddling your real daughter." Sophia walked to the stairs, pushing past Hazel. In her old room, she found the box she'd come for: photos, documents, memories. At the bottom, wrapped in tissue paper, was a small frame. Inside was the last photo taken of Aunt Sarah, her real mother, holding Sophia as a baby. Downstairs, chaos erupted. Hazel was screaming about inheritance rights. Her mother was sobbing about family loyalty, and her father was trying to talk over everyone about reasonable discussions. Sophia descended the stairs with her box, the police officer moving closer. "That's my baby photo album!" Hazel shrieked, lunging for Sophia's box. The officer stepped between them. "Actually," Sophia said calmly, "these are Aunt Sarah's photos. My mother's photos. I'm taking what's mine and leaving what never was. You can't just walk away from this family." Her mother grabbed Sophia's arm. Sophia shook her off. "I'm not walking away from my family. I'm walking away from people who kept me around as a convenient backup plan. There's a difference." "We'll sue!" Hazel screamed. "We'll take everything." "Go ahead." Sophia reached the door. "But remember, I have proof of financial fraud, medical neglect, and now proof that you knowingly withheld my adoption status while using it against me. Want to see how that plays in court?" Silence fell. Sophia turned to them one last time. "You know what's funny? You kept this secret thinking it would make me feel less like family. But knowing the truth, it finally sets me free. I'm not your backup daughter. I'm not your ATM. I'm Sarah's daughter, and I'm done carrying your burdens." Camila opened the door, sunlight streaming in. Behind her, Sophia heard her mother collapse into tears, her father's futile attempts at comfort, Hazel's incoherent rage. But ahead of her, nothing but open road and possibility. "Ready?" Camilla asked. Sophia clutched her box of real memories, feeling lighter than ever. "Ready." They walked out into the sunlight, leaving the shadows of lies behind. In her pocket, her phone buzzed with another lawsuit threat from Hazel's lawyer. Let them come. Sophia had truth on her side now, and truth, she was learning, was the strongest weapon of all. The California sun streamed through Sophia's office window as she finished typing her last blog post. Her heart, now steady and strong, kept perfect rhythm with the keyboard clicks. "And that's how I learned that family isn't about blood or obligation," she wrote. "It's about choice. Every day, we choose who we let into our hearts." Her phone lit up with Derek's call. "The lawsuits are officially dismissed," he announced. "All of them. The judge called them, and I quote, frivolous attempts at financial manipulation. How's Hazel taking it?" "Not well. Have you seen the tabloids?" Sophia pulled up the latest headline. "Socialite's public meltdown goes viral." The video showed Hazel throwing drinks at paparazzi outside a Manhattan restaurant. "She's trending again," Sophia said. Not the kind of fame she wanted. Speaking of trending, her mother had sent an email. The subject line read, "Your father's birthday." Inside was a photo of their last family vacation before everything imploded. Below it, she'd written, "We miss you. Can't we just go back?" Sophia clicked delete. Her doorbell rang. Camilla stood outside with 2 coffees and a small package. "Special delivery from Derek," she announced, handing Sophia the box. Inside, nestled in velvet, was her grandmother's ring, the one she'd sold for Hazel, the one Derek had rescued. But now it sat on a new chain, transformed into a necklace. "Derek said you might want to wear it differently now," Camilla explained. "New meanings for new beginnings." Sophia fastened it around her neck just as her laptop chimed. A donation confirmation. She had just funded a year of cardiac screening for low-income families through her local hospital. The program was named after Sarah, her real mother. "Your support group starts soon," Camilla reminded her. "Ready?" Sophia logged into the video call, where dozens of faces appeared, all people who had found their own strength through her story. They weren't just healing themselves, they were building something new. "Welcome, everyone," Sophia began. "Today, we're talking about setting boundaries without guilt." Halfway through the session, her phone buzzed. A text from Nicholas. "Thought you should know, Hazel's trying to sell a story to the tabloids about your adoption. But don't worry, I sent them the video of her admitting to financial fraud instead." Sophia smiled. Karma really was working overtime. Another email arrived, from her father this time. The subject line made her pause. "I'm sorry." For what it's worth, he'd written, "I was wrong. We were all wrong. Not just about how we treated you, but about what family means. You're stronger than any of us ever were." For the first time, his words held no power over her. Sophia didn't need his approval or his apology. She was no longer that girl desperate for her family's love. The support group session ended with the usual affirmation. "We choose ourselves today." Camilla pointed to Sophia's laptop screen. "Look at your blog comments." A new message stood out. "I left my toxic family today. Your story gave me courage. Thank you for showing me that walking away isn't giving up. It's growing up." Sophia touched her grandmother's ring, now resting over her heart instead of weighing down her hand. "Ready for dinner?" she asked Camilla. "The new Thai place has outdoor seating." "Always." "Oh, and I invited someone from your cardiac support group. That writer who also survived family drama. She seemed cool." Outside, the sunset painted the sky in colors no paint swatch could capture. Her phone buzzed one last time. Hazel, posting another rant about family betrayal. Sophia turned off notifications and smiled at Camilla. "You know what? I think I'm finally done carrying their stories. It's time to live my own." They walked toward the restaurant, her grandmother's ring catching the last rays of sunlight. Behind them, a stream of comments flowed on her blog post. You helped me find my voice. I'm choosing myself today. Thank you for showing us the way out. Revenge had brought her here, but it wasn't what kept her standing. That came from something stronger, the power of choosing herself, of building a life where love didn't require sacrifice. Her heartbeat, steady and true, no longer racing to please others or breaking under the weight of unwanted obligations. This was freedom. This was peace. And it tasted sweeter than any revenge ever could.